SCENTSY is a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme. Recently, the two co-CEOs, Heidi and Orville Thompson, did a Facebook Live video where Orville Thompson misled the public and deceived the participants within SCENTSY as he attempted to explain why SCENTSY wasn't a pyramid scheme. Now, he makes some really interesting claims, none of which are found on the Federal Trade Commission website, nor Canada's Competition Act, describing what a scheme of pyramid selling is or what a pyramid scheme is if you're in the United States. He makes some claims about sales and the ratio of sales, which it's important for people that are in SCENTSY to demand that he produces the proof. If he's going to state publicly why SCENTSY isn't a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme, by claiming a percentage of sales are coming from customers and not distributors, what is exactly categorized as retail sales, then he should be able to substantiate those claims with evidence. I encourage you to contact SCENTSY head office if you are in SCENTSY and demand evidence, because you're going to encounter more and more resistance from people that are just refusing to purchase multi-level marketing products because they are pyramid schemes. It's unfair that this is like you're going to be the ones having to shoulder this responsibility, but ultimately I hope that you wake up and you exit SCENTSY and all multi-level marketing companies. You don't get recruited into another one. This is a video clip taken from Heidi and Orville Thompson's last end of month live on Facebook. It's posted publicly. I've already done a reaction to the whole video. I wanted just to clip this just to emphasize how egregious this behavior is from people that own this multi-level marketing pyramid scheme. It's clear he's trying to intimidate and dissuade any kind of critical thinking from his participants. I believe he even goes so far as to say he calls people stupid and ignorant. I don't remember the exact words. We're going to see it, but he just insults people since he can't be a pyramid scheme because only dumb, ignorant, and stupid people say so. So we're going to just stack up the evidence here, what a pyramid scheme is according to the FTC and also Canada's Competition Act, and we're going to juxtapose that with what Orville Thompson says.
It's not just a buying club where you're getting a discount and you're passing that discount on to others. That's why originally we did it because we couldn't do it any other way. Now we wouldn't change it because it would fundamentally change the mindset that a SCENTSY seller would have, and you would just be a glorified consumer. That's really where people get into trouble. Direct selling companies get into trouble. Because then no one will just be a customer. They'll all join so that they can get the discount. And then all they're doing is buying for themselves. And if they're only buying for themselves, that means they're not really selling to others. And that starts to look like a pyramid scheme. Like I think somebody on here said, oh, SCENTSY is just a pyramid scheme. Like, first of all, that is the dumbest thing. Well, it's pretty dumb. And it's pretty ignorant. I'll just ask you one question. When 80% of the products sold are sold to people who are not affiliated with the company, how can that be a pyramid? I mean, you can even go ask ChatGPT if you don't have enough intelligence to figure it out yourself. It is impossible for a pyramid scheme to function if 80% of sales are happening to people outside the company. Another thing, we do our very best to stop people from selling on Amazon because it's competing with legitimate sellers, and you don't know what you get. But the Amazon prices are at they're very similar to our retail prices, and some products are at multiples of our retail. How in the world can you say that a company is a pyramid scheme if its prices are less than what the outside auction market is on Amazon?
Well, that's easy. I can help you out with that. So according to the Federal Trade Commission, and I've given like all the links below for you to do your own additional research after watching this video. Point 2, under Section 5 of the FTC Act, what is an MLM with an unlawful compensation structure, which is sometimes called a pyramid scheme? It says the most widely cited description of a pyramid scheme appears in the FTC's Koscot decision, which observed that such enterprises are, quote, characterized by the payment of participants of money to the company, in return for which they receive 1, the right to sell a product, and 2, the right to receive in return for recruiting other participants into the program, rewards which are unrelated to the sale of the product to ultimate users, end quote. This is what I call the Koscot pyramid scheme test. I refer to it in a lot of my videos. And I know if you're in multi-level marketing, that might sound like a lot of word salad right now. So you're paying a company for the right to sell a product and the right to receive compensation for recruitment. That's the shorthand version of this. This section goes on to say the assessment of an MLM's compensation structure is a fact-specific determination that the FTC makes after careful investigation. The FTC, in accordance with established case law, focuses on how the structure as a whole operates in practice, including such factors as marketing representations, example, statements that focus on or encourage recruitment rather than retail sales, and information provided to participants in training or events regarding recommended practices or how to make money. Participant experiences, example, testimony from participants and information indicative of participant success or failure in the company, including amounts they purchased, sold, and earned, as well as the amount of additional expenses they incurred. The compensation plan, example, whether the plan requires participants to recruit additional participants to gain access to more lucrative rewards, and the incentives that the compensation structure creates for participants, example, incentives to focus on recruiting rather than product sales to real customers who don't also participate in the MLM network, also referred to as non-participant end users, or incentives to make large or regular purchases in order to maintain eligibility for rewards. You'll notice in this description just on the Federal Trade Commission website that it doesn't say that you're dumb or stupid or ignorant for believing that a multi-level marketing company is operating as a pyramid scheme, nor does it make any mention of 80% of sales going to outside of the multi-level marketing structure, and 20% is purchases from distributors. Nowhere is that referenced in there. Now I'd like to move over to what the definition of a scheme of pyramid selling is according to Canada's Competition Act. Definition of a scheme of pyramid selling. Section 55.1 of the Act defines a, quote, scheme of pyramid selling, end quote, as an MLM plan with one or more of the following features. Requires a payment for the right to receive compensation for recruiting others into the MLM plan, compensation for recruitment. Requires purchases as a condition of participation, purchase requirement, other than a specified amount of product at the seller's cost for the purpose of facilitating sales. Includes inventory loading, or lacks a buyback guarantee on reasonable commercial terms, or participants are not informed about the guarantee. It is a criminal offense to establish, operate, advertise, or promote a scheme of pyramid selling. You'll notice that the main difference between the Koscot pyramid scheme test and Canada's Competition Act Section 55.1 is you only need to have one of those requirements met that were listed in those 4 bullet points in Canada here. It's a common tactic by people committing fraud and scammers to insult its participants, because people naturally want to feel included. They want to feel special. They want to feel intelligent. Nobody wants to be labeled as dumb or ignorant or stupid. By using this kind of language to its participants, I believe that Orville Thompson is just trying to deflect attention away from the fact he is running a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme, and anybody with 2 brain cells and an eyeball can figure that out. This isn't rocket science. It's obvious. His company is hurting. His company is tanking. His sales force is fleeing. People have left and continue to leave, regardless of how much they love the products. Another tactic used by scammers is just inventing rules, like this 80%, 20%. That doesn't exist anywhere except in Orville's mind. But since he brought it up, it's quite fair for you as a consumer to ask him to substantiate this claim and to prove it. It should be publicly available. If he's willing to state it publicly, it should be publicly available. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.
MLM cults are notorious for attempting to silence anyone from speaking out against them. My Instagram account was disabled after being reported in a coordinated attack by MLM participants. I was fortunate to get my account back. My TikTok account has also been targeted. I've been repeatedly threatened with legal action. Harassment and intimidation from MLM cult participants is a daily occurrence. Speaking out against MLM brings the full wrath of these cults down on a person. From every MLM company, participants will insult you, threaten you, and lie about you. Anyone speaking out against these endless chain recruitment frauds is believed to be a hater, a negative force, even an agent of Satan. Subsequently, each MLM sales force is mobilized, going after anyone speaking out against these cults. Comment sections are quickly flooded with angry, aggressive comments, insults and threats from participants from all MLMs, not just the company that is being spoken out against. These comments can easily drown out victims' voices through this intimidation. They also chase away other victims potentially coming forward, as MLM participants often follow each commenter back to their social media profiles to continue the harassment, leaving scathing comments. Our voices were silenced when we were in these cults, and they are being silenced on the outside too. By journalists who deny that MLMs are cults, by the FTC who denies that MLM is fraud, and by the public who follows suit and say if MLMs are pyramid schemes, why are they allowed to exist?